We're going to go down to the lower limbs.
Thank you.
All right, now you'll notice something a little different between the cat and the human. Again, there are a number of differences, but the two gluteal muscles are, first of all, both superficial. The largest one is the gluteus medius. The one down here is the gluteus maximus. So the medius and the maximus. Okay, down here is a muscle you don't need to know, so don't mistake this. This is the caudofemoralis. Look down here. Hamstrings. Remember the hamstrings? 3 of them. Okay, the biceps femoris, the semitendinosus, and if you look in the middle, the semimembranosus. So, biceps femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus in the center. Okay. On the side, we turn it over to the lateral side. This muscle here, what I call the Starbucks coffee muscle, tensor fascia lata. So this short muscle, very small, okay? This is the tensor fascia lata. If we look down here, posterior, okay, we have one of these two-headed muscles. Anybody know the name of this one?
Gastrocnemius.
Yeah, gastrocnemius. And how about peeking out from underneath it?
Soleus.
Soleus. So pretty much everything is in the same place, pretty much. So we're going to turn it over. So we're looking at, this is the dorsal view. I'm going to turn it over and look at the ventral view. Now, quite a few differences here. All right. Over here, they call this the femoral triangle, where you have all the veins, the arteries, and the nerves, okay? Now, the femoral nerves, veins, and arteries course down here, and it divides this muscle from this muscle. These are both superficial, broad, flat muscles. This one is the gracilis. Ours is medial too, but ours is also superficial, but not as broad.
Which one's the gracilis?
This one here, it's been cut, okay, but the whole thing is the gracilis. Excuse me. Laterally, what do you think then this one might be? It's also very thin in the human.
Sartorius.
Sartorius. Okay, so we have very broad, flat, superficial sartorius here, and it's cut to view the deeper muscles. Now, let's look at the deeper muscles here. So I'm going to push this back and push this back. Now, remember we looked on the back, posterior dorsal, and we saw, I'm looking at the different leg, deep here, we saw the semimembranosus, okay? You can also see it from the anterior, however we're viewing the other limb. So, this is a broader view of the semimembranosus. So it's deep to the gracilis, it's more distal. Up here we have a group of muscles, these are called the adductors. Okay, so we have the adductors, we have the semimembranosus, and they're deep to the gracilis. All right, go over here. I'm going to lift up these muscles, the sartorius here and here. Now, these are anterior leg muscles that we have. We have 4 of them, so does the cat. Anybody know the name?
Quadriceps.
Quadriceps, okay? Same names. Okay, the one more medially, what do you think that's called?
Vastus medialis.
Right. The one lateral,
Vastus lateralis.
vastus lateralis. How about the one in the center, the big one?
Rectus femoris.
Rectus femoris. And this is not cut, but deep to that is the,
Vastus intermedialis.
right. Okay, so the 4 quadriceps are deep to the sartorius and the cat. Okay, so very broad muscles. Now, let's look down here again. excuse me. I hit this. What bone do you think that is? Tibia. Okay. Now, anybody remember the muscle sitting right next to the tibia down here?
Tibialis, anterior.
No, medial.
Flexor.
Flexor digitorum. Okay, flexor digitorum. Now, if we look more or less on the ventral side, this one is the tibialis anterior. And if we move the cat, so we're looking at a dorsal view, dorsolateral view. Here's the tibialis anterior here. And in the human, what do we have here?
Extensor digitorum.
Extensor digitorum. Same thing. What do we have in the human?
The fibular longus.
Right.
Fibularis longus.
In the cat, it's just the fibularis, or peroneus, sometimes they call it. But it'd be the fibularis, no longus and brevis here. Then we go to the back again, and we see the muscle here underneath the gastrocnemius. and
Soleus.
Soleus. Okay, so again, this is the gastrocnemius. The one deep to that, soleus. This one here is the fibularis. This one here underneath this muscle is the,
Extensor digitorum.
right, and this one is the,
Anterior.
right,
Anterior what?
Tibialis.
tibialis anterior. And you can see it better from the ventral view. Okay, tibia here, so it's always lateral to that. And medial to that is this muscle called the
Flexor digitorum.
flexor digitorum. Good. Okay. Now again, this muscle.
The gracilis. So,
Yep, gracilis. Okay, we pull that back. And here,
Supramembranosus.
no, the
yep,
Supramembrosus.
yes, this is the semimembranosus.
Oh, semi.
And over here, what have we got?
adductors.
The adductors. So adductors, semimembranosus, deep to the gracilis. Now, this muscle again is the
Sartorius.
sartorius. We're going to move that back. And we're going to look at this one here, which is the,
Is that the medialis?
it would be the what medialis?
Vastus medialis.
Vastus medialis. Okay, good. And then the one in the middle,
Rectus formis.
right? And then the one the lateral to it,
Vastus lateralis.
right? Vastus lateralis. Deep to that, or, which I won't ask you, but there is a fourth, and that would
Vastus
be
intermedius.
good. Okay. Now let's look at the dorsal part again. Go through that. Okay. This muscle here,
Gluteus medius.
okay, and that would be,
Gluteus maximus.
okay, this would be, there's 1, 2, and 1 you can see from the anterior.
That's the biceps femoris.
Yeah. Biceps femoris, semi-ten,
Tendinosus.
right, and,
Semimembranosus.
right. So those are the 3 hamstrings you can see from the back. Whoops. And this one here, which has been sort of ripped apart here, actually, this is it. The very tiny one. The Starbucks coffee muscle?
Tensor fascia lata.
Tensor fascia lata. Okay, tensor fascia lata. Okay. So, I don't think that's too bad. What do you think?
I'm tired of muscles. I'm tired of muscles.
Can you